Hello and welcome to another video by the Laser Sports Academy. In today's video, topic we're going to be covering is a few adjustments you can make to your game in terms of how you're handling the phaser to be better ready and to be better prepared for Helios 2. Figured I'd put this out now since, Helios Pre-Nuts 2 is coming up in like a week from when I'm filming. So I'll try and get this up before then. Hopefully people can draw some valuable info from it. But yeah, this is all based on my experiences from Pre-Nuts 1. If I feel like any of my advice will change, I'll remove this video and I'll update it, because obviously my experiences was just one tournament. But yeah, that's about all we got. So alrighty, so the first of the tips we're going to be covering today is quick peeking the phaser. So this is something that for people that play on Nexus, it's a pretty, it's something you're going to be familiar with, in that because the entirety of the Nexus phaser can be shot other than down the barrel, we're pretty used to doing quick peeks with our phaser, only long enough to get the shot, and then we're bringing it back in. However, for the folks at home that are playing on Helios Pro, maybe we've gotten pretty used to being able to lock it on a wall or something, or on our hip, or if we had a high hold or something. I'm not going to bother doing it left-handed. You can kind of just lock it on the wall and you don't have to move your phaser around very much. On Helios 2, not only is the sensor on the phaser itself pretty easy to hit, the barrel sensor is the most sensitive thing ever in the world, right? So even if you have just a little bit of your Gundam showing around the wall, people are going to tag down that thing, okay? So we need to make sure that we're limiting the time that our phaser is available to be shot. Right? So if there's people on the front door over here coming in, I'm going to be taking really quick shots, because if I leave it out for too long, it's just going to get tagged, and then you're out, and then they've gotten a base, and then, sad times. Alright, so the second tip that we're going to cover is the idea of changing the angle that I present my phaser, right? So let's say I'm in green base, the base is off at the moment because it makes a bloody big ruckus, but let's say that thing's on, I need to shoot it 3 times in a row to be able to get it, right? However, if an opposing defender or an opposing attacker is set up waiting for a phaser shot, if I present my phaser to the same spot 3 times in a row, they're just going to get it, right? So we really need to be changing the angle of our phaser, especially on Helios 2, when it is so damn easy to hit the barrel sensor. I can't stress it enough. If you get nothing else from the video other than the barrel sensors are the most sensitive thing ever in the world, then you already, you got the gist of it. However, so let's say I want to take this base, someone's setting up waiting for phaser shots on me, right? But they're not giving me a sensor to shoot. Rather than shooting at the same angle, maybe I'll shoot my first one low. Then my next one, I'll go a little bit higher, and then my next one, I'll go really low. And by then, I've gotten the base, they shoot me afterwards, whatever, I don't really care. But yeah, make sure you're changing the angle of your phaser just to avoid that barrel sensor being shot, because it is so damn easy. Alrighty, so the last of the tips that we're going to cover in today's video is the idea of holding your shot. And this is the one that I think is actually by far the most important on Helios 2, because it's so much less prevalent in Helios Pro and on Nexus, right? Helios Pro, you're not really worried about your phaser getting hit because you can hide the whole damn sensor behind the wall and you can just take shots willy-nilly. On Nexus, whilst the element of quick peeking and changing your angles and stuff is still a thing, even though the entirety of the Nexus phaser other than the barrel can be shot, it is still notoriously not super easy to hit Nexus phasers. So you can kind of afford to take shots when you see them without fear of getting phaser shot. On Helios 2, this is completely different. The barrel sensor changes everything, and I can't overstate this enough that I think the difference between the best players on Helios 2 and everyone else are going to be the people that learn to adjust to hold their shots, to really and it's really difficult. Because it's your whole instinct is you see a sensor, you shoot it, right? That's the instinct we develop. But on Helios 2, if you're in a position like a last line or you're attacking a base and you've got defenders trying to shoot you out and deny you, your instinct will be to shoot you when you see their sensors. But good defenders and good attackers know this, good players know this, and so they're going to be going to pre-fire your phaser when that shot is there, right?
I can't hit it.
Keep going.
I can't hit it.
So the skill that we want to develop is holding our shots. So if we went through that same example, right, rather than me shooting when my first instinct was to shoot, is I'm gonna make a conscious effort to delay my shot afterwards. Because if I shoot when my instinct is to shoot, good players know this and they'll pre-fire your phaser. And on Helios 2, they will hit your phaser, right? So if we went through the same example, I would want to do it like so. So you see there, I've waited for Jesse to take a couple steps in. He's like done his pre-fire, expecting me to shoot him when I normally would have, but I've just held my shot until a little bit afterwards, and I've been able to stay active in this situation, which is an absolute win. Alrighty, so that concludes our video for today, talking about 3 just general tips that you can apply in your training at home, whether you're on Helios Pro or on Nexus, or when you're going to your first Helios 2 comp. Things that you need to consider to really limit the amount of times that you're getting tagged on that barrel sensor. Naturally, I can give you all the advice in the world. It's going to take a lot of practice and actually going to a comp on Helios 2 before you really understand, like, oh my goodness, this is like crazy. This is like, it's a complete game changer. But yeah, if we just remember quick peeking the phaser, changing the angle of our phaser, and holding our shots, yeah, it's what, from my experience playing last line at Prenuts 1 in Hobart, those were the main 3 things I was always considering in that position, and I started to get pretty decent results, so I hope you can get those results as well. But if you like the video and you want to see more stuff, or if you have any suggestions, drop it down in the comments below, and yeah, until then, we'll see you next time.